everyone, I'm starting off on my international game today because in this video I'm going to be talking about how you can organize all of your pass horses even if you don't have different breeding farms to put each different age group in. If you've seen my ideal pass farm video, then you've seen how I organize my pass horses on my international game, which is that I organize my pass horses according to their age groups, and then each age group has their own individual breeding farm. I know that method isn't perfect for everybody because if you don't have a Pegasus or a VIP account, you're limited to about, I think it's 5 breeding farms is the max that you can have. And if you like to have other breeding projects going, you might not want to put all of your pass horses in different farms. You might just want to keep them in one farm so you can keep your other farms for different projects. And that's pretty much where I'm looking to go on my CA account, is that I just want to keep all my pass horses in one farm so then I can have other breeding farms open up to organize my other projects in. Now, I've got 3 different methods that you can still organize your pass horses even if they're just stuck in one farm. Now, the first method that we're going to look at is organizing your pass horses by breed. And this method might be very beneficial for those who are just more visual and they prefer to easily look at the image of the horse and be able to distinguish that, okay, these are 2 different images, which means these horses should be in 2 different age groups. Now, this is just a trophy farm that I have on international, and I just picked this one as an example because it has several different breeds in it and they have different graphics. And if we look at the top here, these are all Appaloosas. They have the Appaloosa graphic. I named the first horse G1, and I still did name this one at least G1 just so that I know, okay, I'm looking at all these and these are Appaloosas. All the Appaloosas are group 1s right now. They're in the group 1 group right now. And then we go down here, these are still Appaloosas. Okay, this is the last horse here. I named this one group 1 as well, just to distinguish it because we'll know that the next horse, okay, this is a completely different image. This is an Arabian. This is a group 2, which means all the Arabians are group 2s. And this is nice because all you would have to do is just name the first horse and the last horse, or just the first horse of that group if you want. It doesn't really matter. You can just go in when these Appaloosas age up to group 2s. You can just go into these horses and just name either 1 or 2 of those horses group 1, just so that you do know that, okay, all these Appaloosas are group 1s, all these Arabians are group 2s, or whatever. I would recommend, because a lot of the horses, a lot of the breeds rather on horse share the same graphic, like the Appaloosas, the Criollos, they share the same graphic. I would just recommend in that case putting a breed in between those 2 that have a different graphic, like I did here with like the Arabians, or you could put the Frisians, or like a pony breed or something, whatever you want. Another kind of negative for this organizational method is that you'll have to pay attention to what breeds of horses that you're breeding to, especially if you're using crossbred horses. I have loads of different breeds in them. You'll have to make sure that you're kind of fairly knowledgeable about crossbreeding and what breed you're going to get between different crosses. So that's the only negative for that, but it is really good if you're very visual. And like right here, it's pretty easy to tell, okay, this is one breed and this is a completely different breed. So I know that this is a different age group here. And if you're using completely different age groups, then to sort through them to tell how many you have of each group, like, okay, let's find out the Appaloosas are group 1s. I want to know how many group 1 horses I have, which means they're Appaloosas. Search for the Appaloosas. Okay, I have 8 group 1 horses right here because I have 8 Appaloosas. So that's one method you could use. Another method you could use is, if you don't want to rename your horses at all after they're born, is just to do the math when they're born so you know what month they'll be aging up to 30 and be sent off to heaven. So let's say this group of horses, let's just say these are the oldest here. And when we did the math when they were born, okay, they'll be aging up to 30 and sent off to heaven in July. So when we're born, we just went ahead, we named them July right off the bat. We're never going to have to rename these horses again because we know that they're going to be sent off to heaven in July. Same for this group of horses here. We did the math. These horses will be sent off in August. Just name them August when they're born. Never have to rename them again. So this method is very nice for that if you don't want to have to worry about renaming horses all the time. My negative for this one is that I prefer to know right offhand how old or what age group the horses are in. I'm not sure why. It's just probably just because it's how I've always organized my past horse farms. I like knowing how old the horse is now, especially if, let's say, you want to try going for more than 10 passes that month and you want to know, okay, so I want to pull out a group 4 horse and I want to age a group 4 horse up that month. Then that will be having to count back, okay, well, this is, group 5. And okay, that means in August is a group 4. It's just easier for me to look right at the horse and to know that's a group 4 right off the bat, as opposed to having to think about it in my head real quick. And math isn't my strong suit anyway. And I just prefer to look at the horse and know right offhand what age group that horse is in, as opposed to, okay, it'll be sent off in August, so that means it's in this age group right now. So that's another method you could use. The method that I chose to use on my CA account is just to pick a specific name for each group that I breed each month. Now, for example, these horses here, I went through, I renamed them all earlier, and my group 1s, I named them all red. And yeah, if you'll look, I named them all the colors of the rainbow. So Rory, G, Biv. And then with the number of groups that I've had, that meant that I stopped at blue. So we didn't get through all the colors, but we got pretty close. And I named the first horse group 1 just to know that, okay, all that means all the reds are group 1s this month. Get to the last horse, that one's group red, and then all of a sudden we get to a G2 here, which is orange, which means all the horses that are named orange are group 2s right now. And then same with the yellows are G3s, and then the greens are G4s, and so on and so forth. And this will mean that each month when the different groups age up, I'll just have to rename the first horse and the last horse of that group. So let's say that, okay, it's a new month, these horses have aged up, so we're going to go in, we're going to name this red horse here group 2, which means that all the group 2 horses are now red, are named red. All the red horses are now group 2. So that's another method you could do it. I preferred this method. That way then I can see right off the bat, I can know what age group these horses are in, and it's just easy for me to tell. But you can do it however you want to, whatever works for you. Those are just a few methods that I've seen some players use on Howrse. So I hope that was helpful, and I will talk to you soon, guys. Bye.